toward his people. Yes, he says, you shall not commit adultery. Why? Because I want to show you something about me through this commandment. I want to show you something about me. I want to show you something about my covenant love towards my people. I want to show you something about a God who comes and chooses a people who were not a people, who calls to himself a nation that was not a nation, who makes something out of nothing and sets his affections upon them, and he predetermines them to be with him forever in purity. And then he goes about the work of washing her as a bride in the water of the word without stain or wrinkle, without spot, so that one day he can present her to himself. He has plans and goals. All of that was supposed to be seen through don't commit adultery. And we took it and reduced it down to keep your hands off that guy's wife. Oh, you missed it. Oh, you missed him. He says, no, I'm trying to say so much more here. I'm trying to say things about myself. Listen, I know you know this passage. Many of you. But I'm going to ask that you just hear this, because I can't say this better than Paul can. When Jesus says not to commit adultery, not to treat marriage this way, this is why. Wives, submit to your husbands as to the Lord, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, his body, and is himself its Savior. Now, as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit in everything to their husbands. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, that he might sanctify her, having cleansed her by the washing of water with the word, so that he might present the church to himself in splendor, without spot or wrinkle or any such thing, that she might be holy and without blemish. In the same way, husbands shall love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. For no one ever hated his own flesh, but nourishes it and cherishes it, just as Christ does the church, because we are members of his body. Therefore, a man shall leave his father and mother and hold to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. And if we stopped right there, we might think Paul is giving a marriage seminar. If we stopped right there, we might think that Paul is just giving a whole bunch of directions. Wives, all you need to do is respect your husbands. Husbands, all you need to do is sacrificially love your wives. And that concludes our seminar. We could take it and reduce it down to a bunch of thou shalts, right? But because Paul knows us better than that, he does not finish up this teaching without adding that last verse, verse 32. This mystery is profound. I am saying that it refers to you and your happy home. You and the peace in your home. Is that what his greatest goal is? Is that the picture he's trying to paint? And he says, no, this mystery is profound. I am saying that it refers to Christ and the church. Whoa. I thought you're giving me the 5 keys to a happy home, the 7 steps to a domestic bliss. And all the other seminars and books that are out there, no. What you're giving us is direction on how we can lovingly and worshipfully form and shape and govern our homes and our lives and our bodies in such a way that we paint the glorious picture of that groom, Christ, and this bride, his church, so that our marriages, ladies and gentlemen, are not just to make us happy. They are to paint a picture for the rest of the world so they can see what the love of Christ for his church looks like. So it's not just your business anymore. I didn't sign up for all that, Pastor. Welcome to the kingdom. It's our business if we fight. It's my business if I treat her poorly. It's my business if I cheat on him. No, it's not. Because your marriage and my marriage are supposed to tell every other marriage, this is how Christ loves the church. This is how the church responds to Christ. Husbands, you represent Jesus, not Homer Simpson. Wives, you represent the church. So stop watching the housewives of this city and that. You're from a different kingdom. So your marriage is not just about you. Someone said, what if marriage is not to make you happy, but to make you holy? What if our highest goal for our marriage is not just a healthy income, some nice vacations? What if we said we will live and we will live together and we will love each other and we will do it in such a way that people will look at us and have to ask why, and we will have to tell them it's Jesus